Hi, my name is Ashley Armstrong. Today, I just want to inform you a little bit about something that I feel is pretty important. Climate kills. Recent studies have shown that the Earth is getting hotter and hotter each and every year. This gradual increase in temperature is known as global warming. Scientists have gathered evidence to support that the Earth is in fact heating up faster than ever. This increase in temperature is caused by a variety of factors, which I will be telling you about today. First off, there's a few reasons why I believe global warming is a serious issue that needs to be brought to attention. To point out, Earth's temperature is increasing faster than ever. Secondly, greenhouse gas emissions have increased. And thirdly, the Earth's tectonic plate movements are also influencing the global temperature. Earth's climate has gone through phases of temperatures for thousands of years, which brings me to my first point, that the Earth's temperature has been rising quicker than ever. Agriculture and land clearing has had a huge toll on the environment and its climate. We know about past climate because of evidence that was left in tree rings, layers of ice and glaciers, ocean sediments, coral reefs, and layers of sedimentary rocks. These records also reveal that the current climatic warming is occurring much more rapidly than past warming events did. Deforestation is another probable cause for this rapid increase in temperature. When an area is deforested, carbon dioxide is emitted into the atmosphere in humongous amounts. Without the trees to absorb the CO2 from the environment, the pollutants get trapped in the atmosphere, and the Earth begins to heat up. Luxurious items to humans, such as vehicles, factories, and power plants, also emit these gases into the air. Cars and trucks, for example, account for nearly 1/5 of all U.S. emissions, emitting around 24 pounds of carbon dioxide and other gases for every 1 gallon of gas. Factories involved with industrial processes contribute to ground-level ozone production. Power plants, vehicle emissions, and burning fossil fuels all produce ozone. Not only does it add to global warming, but ground-level ozone is detrimental to human health by causing or worsening respiratory problems. My second point brings me to the fact that the greenhouse gas emissions are also increasing, which in turn is raising the temperature of the Earth as well. For reference, the Futsu Thermal Power Station near Tokyo, generating electricity and heat by burning fossil fuels like coal, natural gas, and oil products, produces more greenhouse gas emissions than any human activity, accounting at least 1/4 of all global emissions. That's a lot. Data shows levels of the gas increased more between 2012 and 2013 than during any other year since 1984, possibly due to the less uptake of carbon dioxide by ecosystems such as forests, as well as the rising CO2 emissions. The increase in greenhouse gas emissions has trapped heat inside of the Earth's atmosphere, causing it to warm. By burning fossil fuels, more pollutants enter the air with nowhere to escape. The heat trapped by those emissions can be felt with just a few months of the fuel being burned. Worldwide, net emissions of greenhouse gases from human activities increased by 35% from 1990 to 2010. Emissions of carbon dioxide, which account for about 3/4 of total emissions, increased by 42% over this period. The greenhouse effect is the warming of the Earth's surface and the air above it. According to NASA, when the sun releases energy into the Earth's atmosphere, only some of that energy is reflected back into space. but the other remaining 70% gets absorbed by the land and the oceans, which heats the Earth. The movement of the Earth's tectonic plates is another reason why global warming is happening. Tectonic plate movements can create volcanoes and earthquakes. When a plate moves over the top of another plate, the energy and friction melt the rock and push it upwards. This is called a mountain. The pressure of the gases underneath continue to swell and build over time, and without any other outlet for release, the mountain eventually explodes into a volcano, releasing all the dangerous gases into the atmosphere at a high temperature. Most earthquakes are the result of the sudden movement along a fault line between two adjacent tectonic plates. When these plates shift into each other, they get caught with a lot of force behind them, which will eventually slip, creating an earthquake. Tectonic plate movements also increase the amount of natural disasters and their strengths. When the plates get moved around, they crash into each other, pull apart, rub against each other. As you can imagine, these interactions can do some pretty serious damage. Possible outcomes of an increase in global temperatures include increased risk of drought and increased intensity of storms, including tropical cyclones with higher wind speeds, a wetter Asian monsoon, and possibly more intense mid-latitude storms. Lastly, when a major seismic tremor underneath a body of water, the energy from that tremor is released into the surrounding liquid, traveling through the water in a form of a wave, like a tsunami wave, thus creating a tsunami. In conclusion, there are many reasons why I believe global warming is a serious issue that needs to be brought to attention. Now you've heard why the Earth's temperature has been increasing faster than ever, and why greenhouse gas emissions have increased, which affect the temperature of the Earth. Lastly, you learned that the Earth's tectonic plate movements also influence the global temperature. All in all, I believe that Earth's temperature increase is leading studies towards global warming and is making more people aware that global warming is a real event occurring on Earth. I also conclude that the increase in Earth's temperature is caused by a variety of factors such as the greenhouse effect, human activity, and tectonic plate movement. And there is no doubt that it is becoming an issue worldwide.